The twins are here with a new look, and they are styling all over Tenpai on the rank ladder. Let's see how. Hello everyone, and today we're going to be playing some Live Twin Sprite, a deck that I wasn't really super impressed by until I got playing it more and more. It was actually the Link Exceed Festival that really taught me how good this deck is. It taught me a lot of the intricacies and where the value of the deck really lies, which I think can be hard to find for a new sort of player to Sprite overall, because it's a very common theme with Sprite strategies where they feel a little wishy-washy sometimes and ultimately not all that satisfying or powerful to play. This is an exception because once you get a basic idea as to where your value actually is, you can pull off some crazy wins. Now, there are a few different ways in which you can play Live Twins. There's a few different little sort of tech engines or options that you'll modify your end board with. We built this deck around two of them. Primarily, of course, well, three technically, I guess. You, of course, have the Live Twin Evil Twin sort of setup where you've got your Evil Twins here as well as the Trouble Sunny. More so for OTK potential than it is for interruption. You do two-lock yourself a lot thanks to the Sprite card, so you don't often use Trouble Sunny, but it is a very good card for going for lethal. So we are sort of leaning into, of course, the Evil Twins. We are playing a small Unchained package, which does come up more than a little. Very reliable. Some pretty cool Abominable Unchained Soul tech from a member of our Discord, Yamo, another Discord streamer. You can catch him in there. So we got a little bit of an Unchained engine going on. But the one that has really made this deck super duper powerful for me is Griffin, Nightmare Griffin. We're in a metagame where monster effects are ubiquitous, as they have been for a while, but especially in the case of Tenpai. Tenpai can't really do much about Nightmare Griffin. It's actually kind of funny. If you time your pops well and you manage it, the Griffin, the fact that it's untargetable, the fact that it's indestructible if summoned off of IP, which it will be, is just honestly a way better answer to Tenpai than Avramax is, because Avramax can be stopped by the Transcendent Dragion, as well as the fact that he doesn't actually control anything. Because he's not stopping your opponent from doing anything, he's not really really halting them very much at all, because they can very easily play around Avramax. And as well as that, Avramax, of course, needs monster summons strictly from the extra deck, whereas this needs just any two monsters with different names. And that summoning condition is actually a large part of why I love this card so much. The fact that it's so easy to summon is a huge part of its utility. Now, I could sit and I could talk about this deck a lot. I am going to get in. I'm going to show off two main sort of like combos. So it's going to be a one-card combo using any of your Live Twin cards. We, of course, have either one of the normal summon twins is a starter. Sunny Snitch is a starter because it grabs a twin, and Secret Password is a starter because it grabs Sunny Snitch. So you could have anywhere from 12 as your sort of ceiling there, all the way down to how many are we playing? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're playing 9. You could also play Sign Up Mining. The small twins are also Cyberse monsters, so you could technically, theoretically, have 14 one-card starters. But honestly, that's too many. So we cut it down a little bit, avoiding some of our hard ones per turns. So I'm going to show off a one-card combo with either of the Live Twins, and then I'm going to show off a Live Twin plus Extender combo. And the Extender can be anything. It can be Blue, Jet, it can be Meow Man, which is personally my favorite. But we're going to show off a little Extender combo as well, which sort of really adds to the end board. Even just one Extender in this deck really adds to that end board. But most importantly, it allows you to play for Interruption very well. I'm not going to sit and ramble too much at the start. Just letting you know, if you want to catch us live, please hop onto our Twitch, which is linked below. We've had a few Twitch exclusive live streams over there. We've really sort of, I feel like we're matching the vibe of a Twitch streamer now over there. So if you want to join in on that and catch content live, absolutely catch us down below. I think it's a blast. I personally think it's my favorite type of content to create. And if you want to be involved in that, I would highly recommend you do so. You can, of course, also subscribe here and like this video if you want to help your boy out. But I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's get right into those combos. Now, the difference between the one-card board of Live Twins and the one-card plus Extender board is quite significant, but I do want to show off both just so that you know what it is you're doing in case, you know, you only have the one card, or if you do get interrupted at some stage, which prevents you from utilizing it to the fullest potential. So what we're going to do is, this is one of our starters, our Sunny Snitch. This just grabs us any of the live twins. Any one of these two will do. We're going to grab the blue one here. It really doesn't matter which. We're going to normal summon the blue twin. We're going to activate its effects. Ideally, you want to use the blue twin so you can play Frost from deck, which just draws you a card later. It's not a big deal. So we'll play this card out. And now that we've got 2 level 2s on the board, we're going to go for Gigantic Sprite. So we're going to go these two into the Gigantic Sprite. Beautiful. Gigantic Sprite then going to activate its effect. We're going to detach a material. We're going to detach specifically the pink twin. Get rid of the pink twin. We're going to special summon out the Sprite Blue from deck. So right here. Sprite Blue activates. We're going to search our deck now for Sprite Jet. Add to our hand. Then we're going to special summon the Sprite Jet. Activate Sprite Jet. It's going to grab us Starter. Sprite Starter. Now at 3. Huge buff, by the way. So now what we're going to do. It is worth noting at this stage we are protected from the Nibiru, we are protected from Bestials, we're protected from all of that fuck shit thanks to Gigantic Sprite's 2 lock applying to both players. Neither player can special summon anything that isn't level, link, or rank 2. So now we're going to go into a link 2, we're going to go into the Sprite Elf using the Jet and the Blue. Right here. We got that Sprite Elf on deck. We are going to go for Starter. Where specifically you use Starter, doesn't matter. A lot of people like using it early to put the negate on board, and I can't blame you. Makes total sense. So we're going to summon the Sprite Red right here. We're going to go Elf now. Elf is going to bring back the pink twin that you detached earlier. So bring back the pink right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go IP Masquerena. We're going to go Gigantic Sprite and Sprite Red into IP. And our objective here, remember, our objective is untargetable, indestructible Griffin. That's what we want. So now we've got IP and the Frost. We're going to use these two now. We're going to go into our pink twin, the big, what's her name? Kisakil. We're going to go into Kisakil here. Activating Kisakil. Kisakil sounds wrong. Kisakil is definitely the way we're going to say it. We're going to summon back the blue twin from the graveyard. Now we're going to go pink and blue into big blue. So you want to go pink, blue, pink, but just because it lets you draw an extra card, and that's a large part of this deck as well. Being able to draw more cards is huge because ultimately you do play a shitload of non-engine and extenders. So every single draw you get is huge. So we're going to bring back the pink twin here. Now the pink twin is going to activate to draw us a card. Now again, with our sort of double fiends, if we were to have any extender, like for example a Sprite Blue, we would be able to have made this board a little better by utilizing the Unchained cards. If we were to use the Unchained cards now, it's only going to get in the way of ensuring we get the Griffin, which is the primary end board piece. That's what we're after, that's what we're chasing. So let's focus on that. We're going to go Amphius here. Really, you do want to make sure that the blue twin is the one in the middle, the one that we're getting rid of. So they're going to go Magician's Rod. It doesn't matter. You just need to wait till they have a monster on the field. Then you can use Sprite Elf's effect to bring back the IP Masquerena from your graveyard. Any monster on field will do, of course, as long as we can bring back IP. Toggle on as well for the resolution of the chain in which you summon out IP Masquerena. You want to be able to immediately use the Masquerena. I'm not going to use that. So Masquerena then is going to specifically get rid of herself and the blue twin. So you're going to use blue and herself to summon out the Griffin. Now, what we have is we have a board here. Number one, of course, we're co-linked, which is nice. So because we're co-linked, we get to use Griffin on summon. We get to discard a card here. So we'll discard anything. Damn, our hand's busted. Let's drop Tactics. So we get to recycle a spell back from our grave. And we get to draw one because our Griffin is co-linked, which is nice. And now what we basically have here is we have Griffin lock affecting our whole field, which means that no monster that isn't linked can activate its effects, which total just sort of floodgate, can't even activate their effects on field. He's protected from targeting by Sprite Elf. He's protected from destruction by IP Masquerena, allowing him to play through and stay on the field through the majority of board breakers, right? You're feels still a little weak to imperm. Imperm on the elf initially does definitely suck. And does kind of just lock you into sort of more evil twin plays. But assuming they can't frame one to get your elf, having this guy being indestructible and untargetable, while also still having your evil twin Kisakill for the additional pop. We're going to go for the Kisakill here. We're going to bring back the blue twin from the graveyard. Make sure to summon it somewhere where it's being pointed to or pointing at something. Right, so we're summoning here next to Griffin. It could have been here underneath Elf. Anywhere as long as it's pointing to or being pointed to by any Link monster. So we're going to go the Leela here. Leela's going to pop a card, whatever. So we get a pop, we get the Floodgate, and we get the protection. Very, very straightforward. This board will end so many Tenpai players' days. The biggest reason I love this field in particular is just Tenpai. It's just Tenpai. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it. Fuck Tenpai, right? This board is why we can play pretty well in the Tenpai. And again, it is so much better and so much more consistent and so much more resilient when you have even a single extender. But this is what you can do with one card. There's a few different things you can do with one card. Like you can set up a board that does a few pops. You can set up a board that does the Unchain shit. This is just a version of the one card combo. I might come back and do additional versions of the one card combo. I might do like a full sort of like Life Twin guide, because you can do like Dagda ones, you can do Unchained ones, you can do all sorts of shit, right? So I may do that at a later point. But for now, I just wanted to show this off because this is what I've been playing and this has been generating me a lot of success. So let's get into a combo where we have our one card starter and any extender. Now, sometimes the particulars of this version of the combo differs based upon the specific extender you open. For example, if you open blue or jet as your extender, then it does change what you're going to do off of your gigantic, but you will ultimately end with the same amount of resources. You just get them in a different order, right? So the specific extender doesn't matter, but just do be aware of which one you're using so you can make the necessary adjustment. Usually it's just like one particular part needing slightly tweaked to fit. So normally it's not a big deal, and I'll leave it up to your imagination to figure out the different combinations, but it's really not that big a deal. We're going to do Life Twin Leela and the Life Twin Kisakill Frost. So we're going to normal summon our Leela, like normal. Activate on normal summon. We're going to special summon out the pink twin from the deck, just the regular pink twin this time. And now we're going to special summon our extender. That's pretty much, like, again, that plus extender, huge. Now we're going to go into the gigantic just like we normally would. We're going to go blue and we're going to go pink. Doesn't really matter which one specifically we use. Into the gigantic. Beautiful. Activating gigantic. We're going to detach a material. Detaching the pink. Always make sure you have pink engraved. It's just the most generically useful. We're going to summon out Sprite Blue, just like our regular combo. A lot of how the combo works is very, very similar. Like, it just runs the exact same way up. The only difference is you don't have to give up IP to win your evil twin, and I'll show you that in a minute. So all of this part's the exact same. So it is. It's all the exact same. Summoning out the jet, activating the jet. We're going to use the jet. We're going to grab the starter. Beautiful. Now we're going to activate the starter. We're going to special summon out a red. Right, just monsters, board. Now we're going to go Sprite Elf using our jet and our blue. I might have cooked myself as zones here, actually, but we're fine. We got the elf. Elf is the name of the game here. We, of course, still have a pink twin on field. If you didn't have a pink twin and this was any other extender, you would just bring back the pink twin from the graveyard. In fact, I think I still will do that just to sort of demonstrate the point. So we're going to bring pink back from grave. And now what we're going to do is we're going to summon IP Masquerena specifically to the middle zone. Specifically to the middle zone. Because you want Griffin in the middle. Right? Griffin in the middle. So now we got IP here, and we still have pink and a monster on board, which means we can go into the evil twin cards without giving up the IP Masquerena. And the reason, and I'm going to show you why that's so valuable in a minute, we're going to go evil twin Kisakill. Kisakill then going to activate our effect. We're going to bring back the blue twin, just like that. Now we're going to go blue twin using blue and pink. Very straightforward stuff. Does not take a rocket scientist to work out this particular part of the combo. We're going to go Leela here. Leela going to bring back Kisakill, just like that. Bang, bang, bang. Beautiful. Drawing ourselves a card. Great. Nice little extender there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go Yama. Now, Yama here isn't exactly, you know, the greatest thing in the world because we don't have an additional extender to go into the Rage. So you've got a couple of options here. You can either, at this stage, you've got a couple of options. You can either pass just like this and rely on your Griffin and your Evil Twin pops and your draws and all of that fun stuff, while also having an Abominable Unchained Soul in hand for disruption. So this is additional disruption in hand. So we get one extra interruption out of this, as well as a ton of follow-up in the form of Soul Lord Yama. You could also utilize the Unchained Soul of Rage here. So you could go IP and Yama into Rage, and then you could use Elf to bring back the IP, and then Yama, upon something being popped, to bring back the sort of twins, and you could do the whole play that way. I'm personally not a huge fan of that. It does technically net you a higher ceiling, but my issue with that version of the combo is that I need my opponent to play a certain amount of cards and in a certain way for me to be able to do it in a way that's beneficial. Whereas I prefer holding back, holding on the resources, playing it sort of slow and safe, making sure I can get to my actual win con. It's important we don't forget the win con. The win con is the Griffin. That's crazy. Mahad off rip is funny as fuck. So what we're going to do is, again, right away, IP Masquerena. We're going to go IP. You can either go Griffin here. I think Griffin is like the whole point of the deck, to be perfectly honest. So I'm going to go Griffin using Yama and Masquerena. Right here in the middle. We're going to activate this. He's not co-linked right now because our opponent just went straight to battle phase. But we still get to recycle the spell. The only difference is you don't get to draw a card. So it's not a big deal. So Griffin comes out. Still immune to targeting. Still immune to destruction. And now we use our Elf. Elf is going to bring back the Pink Twin. Out it comes. Beautiful. Pink Twin's going to activate. We're going to bring back the Blue Twin. There it is. Then Blue Twin's going to activate. It's going to net us another pop. So this is essentially a much more resilient way of going into what is effectively the same end board, right? So the whole point of these end boards is we're trying to maximize on our Griffin, because Griffin is absolutely huge. Griffin has been winning me so many games, and it's just been an absolutely incredible resource. There are a ton of other really cool lanes you can do with this deck. I'm not trying to say that these are the best lanes you can do. You can I know a lot of people love the Unchained combos, and I'm sure they're really cool, but man, Griffin into Tenpai in particular, just Tenpai, man. Like, if they activate Sangan and you don't have, like, if your Lila pop gets stopped, or if something goes wrong, or if you've already used your pop and then they activate fucking Sangan summoning, you're cooked, man. It sucks. Griffin stops that. Griffin stops that, which is absolutely massive. That's why I love it so much. And that's why we're doing these combos this way. Now, you are luckily in the gameplay. I have got a few replays lined up here. I am going to show off how the deck plays under different circumstances. You're going to see like 1-card combos, 2-card combos, 3-card combos, which are crazy. So you're going to get to see all of that. You're going to get to see us playing for the interruption, all of the shenanigans. Let's get into the replays. You know, a large part of what makes Griffin so valuable and interesting in playing this deck lately is because of the ubiquity of Tenpai. And I keep saying that word, but Tenpai is the biggest deck in the format right now. So having a card that is essentially almost custom built to stop Tenpai in your deck has just been amazing. Maybe if the metagame was a little more varied, I wouldn't be as inclined to go for the Griffin lines, but man, it has just been paying off, and you're going to see. Alright, we're going to go Gigantic Sprite here, going into our blue, just like the combos. Our opponent had Max C in hand, but luckily, of course, we had the Ash Blossom, as well as a Call By and a Maxi of our own. That is, again, one of the joys of playing this deck, and as part of why I've built it the way I've built it, is we're trying to maximize on the resilience of our strategy, rather than trying to play too heavily into just sort of like turbo combo, sort of like ton of interruptions sort of thing. That's not really the objective of our deck here. We're looking for consistency, we're looking for non-engine, and we're looking for Resilience. Resilience is the name of the game. We're going to go through our standard twin plays here, grabbing. We actually just draw into the Abominable Luncheon Tool, which is the only reason I didn't go Yama, because it's like, I just drew the card. It's whatever, right? It don't matter. So what we're going to do here, and the reason that's sort of beneficial for us is it actually nets us a +1 in the end. We're going to let him pop our back row. It's no biggie. We're going to go Masquerina here. Masquerina then going to link off into the Nightmare Griffin, discarding a card, grabbing us back the Sprite started from our graveyard. They're going to go Forbidden Droplet. Forbidden Droplet, drop 1, trying to negate our elf. Again, a large part of why the 1 card plus extender combo is better is that it doesn't lose to a negate on elf. You still get your Griffin one way or the other. We are, of course, now targetable, but a very quick and easy Kisa Kill pop onto that field spell is going to put our opponent out of his misery. Nothing he can do about that. Into the battle phase, activating Sanguine Kaiman, gonna grab Chundra, gonna summon the Chundra, but unfortunately, because it's special summoned, he can't activate its effect. Plus, our little Frost here nets us a +1. He swings in, wonders why he can't special summon a monster, and then after he destroys our Pink Twin, we re-summon it back to the field, and then we draw an additional card off of its effect, getting an additional level 2 in hand. Our opponent passes game back to us, and we're in a position where we can essentially just go into the Link 4 Double Sunny, or Trouble Sunny, sorry, and go for a very easy lethal. That's the joy of the Griffin. That's literally it, right? I mean, you could have had a million interruptions there. Sanguine summoning, unless he were to try popping that first. If he saved that droplet for something that would have threatened his field spell, a regular board with just a ton of interruptions and whatever, unchained cards and blah, 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 would not have done the job. This did, though, because Griffin is just that guy. That's all I'm saying, right? Into Tenpai, it's amazing. I'm going against a ton of fucking Tenpai, so far, it's been amazing. Already getting into our second replay. Our opponent looks like they got a pretty base field. We got that live twin vibe going on both sides. We're going to go live twin Leela being met with a Maxi. We do have Call By and Maxi in hand. We decided it is absolutely worth giving up our own Maxi to negate his. That is, you know, it's a-okay. You don't exactly like call buying a card that you have in hand, but sometimes you just don't have a choice, especially in the case of the Roach. We're going to summon out the Kisa Kill plus our Frost, going into Gigantic Sprite, just like in the combo guide. We're going to go Gigantic Sprite, detach a material, summon the blue activates, searching for our Jet. Jet then special summons out of the field, activates, searches our deck for starter. We already have red in hand as well, which are just going to immediately special summon. We're going to hold on to that starter right now. Our field's looking a little packed, so let's maybe condense down a little bit. Elf and Masquerina onto the board. We're going to go Elf, bring back the Pink Twin, goes for Ghost Ogre. That sucks. Definitely should have went for Sprite starter sooner, but we're going to tribute off the Masquerina. We're going to protect the Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf is an integral part of this. So long as we keep Elf around, we can use it to recover the Masquerina and maybe make some plays from there. We're going to go into our evil twin Kisa Kill. Kisa Kill going to activate, bring back the blue twin, blue and pink into big blue Leela. So Lila then going to activate, going to bring back the big Pink Twin from the graveyard. Pink Twin going to draw 1 on summon. So that's going to net us 1 additional card. Going to draw into a Ghost Ogre. Counter Ogre there. We're going to go starter summon out red from deck. And we're simply going to end on this, which is effectively, again, the same board, except this time through 2 hand traps. They're going to go Pydra. Pydra effect is going to activate. Remember, the Griffin does not stop the effect of normal summoned monsters, which does actually come up here, but you're going to see how much that doesn't matter anyways. We're going to go IP Masquerina back from grave off of the Elf. Gonna play Sanguine Summoning here. I actually believe is it this game I think I misplay in quite heavily. We're gonna go Nightmare Griffin. It is this game. I totally fucked this game up. Watch this shit. We're gonna discard our now dead Maxi. We're gonna grab the Sprite starter. We're gonna go Kisa Kill. Kisa Kill gonna activate to bring back the Leela from our graveyard. Leela gonna come back. Okay. Leela then on summon gonna activate, trying to pop the Pydra because I don't know how to read. I should have popped the field spell. In my head, I'm thinking, I've got Ghost Ogre for the field spell. I don't need to do that, but that was silly of me, of course. We're going to go red, tributing off the Pink Twin to negate and destroy the Chundra, because then blue can just re-summon that Pink Twin back netting us an additional draw. So not only do we not lose anything for tributing off of Red's effect, we actually gain by drawing an extra card. They're going to go for the field spell. We're going to go Ghost Ogre onto the field spell. We're going to destroy that as well. The joys of having a ton of non-engine cards. They're going to go Sangan Kaiman into the battlefield, grabbing the Chundra. Chundra had activated its summon from hand effect, but it can still use its own field effects. We're going to draw ourselves another card. Not really very useful. Into the battle phase, they are going to start swinging, taking out a few of our monsters. They can activate the effect of Hydra to synchro summon into the Sangenpai Bident, but Bident cannot activate its effect to bring another card back, and without the ability to bring a card back for extension, he knows it is game over as soon as it's my turn again. He can't get it off the field to revive. He can't use its effect to bring anything back from the graveyard. He cannot continue to play the game. And he knows he's not surviving our turn. So he decided to call it quits. And you know what? I do not blame him. Hope y'all are ready for some bullshit in this one. Looking at this hand, we got absolutely no live twin shit. So what do? We play a Sprite. We're going to normal summon the Meow Man. We're going to special out the red and the blue off the starter. Blue grab Jet, summon Jet, Jet grab Smashers. We could have grabbed Gamma Burst as well. Both are good targets. We're going to go into the Elf here. Elf then, sorry, I'm not going to use the Elf yet. We're going to go Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite under an Elf zone, so it is not impermeable. I don't think he has anything at this point, but there's no point in not playing around it. We're going to go Masquerena then under the Elf. We're going to Elf bring back Carrot. And we're going to set to and pass. Nice, simple, easy board. Nothing worth stressing out about. Passing to our opponent. Immediately Gamma Sealed. My intention was to bring a card back off of the Elf to go into a Griffin. We had the materials for a Griffin. We still technically can, but it's not going to be as impactful because we're giving him a Link Zone. We're going to go for IP Masquerena here, being met with Gamma, soon to be limited to 1. So we set up a pretty okay board where we could have had either a Griffin or we could have went into SP. We could have done a whole bunch of shenanigans. But I guess when you just have fucking Gamma Seal Gamma, I guess it'd just be like that, right? So we're going to Smashers here. We're going to banish the starter from the graveyard in response to deactivate the Stand-Up Centurion. We're going to banish Stand-Up Centurion here, basically just praying that he doesn't have any potential extender. But of course, he just has the one-card starter. The Centurion Trudea going to place Primera into the back row. Summon Primera. Primera gets searching for Wake Up Centurion. Wake Up Centurion then being activated, summoning out a level 8 token to the field. Synchro Summon into the Centurion Auxilia. Auxilia then going to search the deck for an additional Centurion card, grabbing Stand Up Centurion. Going to activate the field spell just to have it active into our turn. Wake Up Centurion then going to mill an additional card from the deck, sending the Phalanx for a recovery play later on, taking out, of course, his own Gamma Seal, putting us in top deck territory. We got a call by, we got red, which is not a lot. We're looking into a potential additional level 12 synchro during our turn. We draw into the Secret Password, which is a one-card starter, but is it going to be enough in the face of a Centurion M board? They're going to go Trudea here in response to the Secret Password. We're going to grab Live Twin Sunny Snitch. Then they're going to activate Primera. Primera then summoning out, going to get searching the deck down. They're going to chain the Stand-Up Centurion, as well as Centurion MF, which will place Trudea back in the back row and summon itself out to the field to take her place, ensuring that he still has a card in his back row to be synchroed away, essentially, which is the main goal. So he's ensuring that he has the cards that he needs for the following turns as well. Very smart play. Crimson Dragon going to target the Auxilia, summoning out the Cosmic Blazar Dragon, giving him an Omni Negate. Sunny Snitch grabbing Live Twin Leela, normal summon the Leela, Leela activate, getting hit with the Cosmic Blazar Dragon, and unfortunately, not an awful lot we can do about that. It'd just be like that. Gamma Seal into Gamma, man. It'd be like that. I hope you got to see a little bit about how Sprite functions by itself in a deck like this. You can still set up pretty decent boards. Again, it's better if you have the twins. You get additional draws and pops and advantage, and it's nice. But you can still set up a very reasonable board using even just the Sprite cards. Into our last game. All right, our fourth and final match. Crazy hand. Live Twin Kisakil summoning out Leela from the deck. Straight into Gigantic. I'm sure you know the line by now. If you're walking away from this video knowing anything, it is the Live Twin line. We've seen it so many times already. We're going to summon the blue grab Jet, Jet grab. We already have starters, so this time we grab Smashers. Now we're going to link into our Sprite Elf. We're going to use Sprite Elf, bring back the Pink Twin. Now we're going to go for our link to into the Masquerena. Again, all bread and butter plays we're very familiar with. Summon out the Carrot. into the Kisakil. Kisakil then going to activate, bring back the blue twin. Blue and pink then going to go into the blue. We're going to bring out Leela. Leela then going to activate to bring back the pink twin from the graveyard. Pink on summon, going to draw us an extra card. Again, love the advantage in a deck like this. Strong into starter, not a fantastic card, but it's one less in our deck. Now we're going to go into Yama. Yama activating its effect, going to grab the Abominable Unchained Soul. Sprite starter then activating to give us the second extender so we can go in the Unchained Soul of Rage. And now this is effectively kind of like the full power board, right? Because we've got, you know, the Griffin play, the setup, we got the Rage, we got everything here. Very, very difficult board for our opponent to out, unless you have Lightning Storm into Droplet. Fantastic. That's Tenpai for you, right? Droplet and negate everything on our field, get rid of all of that. He thought we were going to play the game. I thought I was going to play the game. We were wrong. We're going to go Yama once our field is destroyed. Yama going to bring back the Evil Twin Kisakil from our graveyard. Normal summon the Chundra. Kisakil activates, bringing back Leela from the grave. Leela activates on summon. We're going to pop that Chundra, and just like that, you thought it was game over. You thought Lightning Storm in the Droplet was it for us, but no. You drop that many cards into the face of Life Twins, I'm still going to win. Bro dropped like 5 cards out of his hand just to negate our board, and it simply was not going to be enough. Simply not. Let's check the deck list. And here's the list. Like I said, I did get a lot of the inspiration for this list from playing in the Exceed Link Festival. I just sort of wanted the deck to play, and we actually played it live. You can see us sort of like learning the deck live on our live stream over on Converged Gaming Plus, which is where our VODs are re-uploaded, by the way, again. So if you're not on Twitch and you don't want to go to Twitch for whatever reason, I don't know why you wouldn't, right? It's a fucking blast. I would recommend coming to Twitch, but if you don't, we do upload our VODs onto Converged Gaming Plus 2 to 3 days after they happen, so you can always check out Converged Gaming Plus to get our VODs after the fact. But anyway, this is effectively like the list. Of course, in the event, this deck is a little bit more limited, so we have less extenders and such, but it's a similar kind of vibe, and it works very, very similarly. In fact, I actually simplified my list to be more akin to the list that I played in the event, because I really, really liked it. It worked out fantastically, and bringing this into ranked, again, focusing around this Nightmare Griffin has been super useful into a Tenpai meta. Because realistically, if you can negate all of their monsters, you're one pop away from winning 99% of the time. So I think the deck plays fantastically into that sort of thing. We're a little bit resilient to board breakers because we play from grave a lot, but again, there are quite a number of board breakers that do just kind of goodnight Irene us, which is unfortunate, but every deck is like that. So before someone leaves a fucking comment that says, oh, what about this board breaker into this board breaker plus 1 card starter? Yeah, that'll break the board, genius. Fantastic. Work that out on your own. But anyways, this is the list. We're going to strip her down for parts. We're going to get rid of anything that you don't need. We're going to drop, of course, the Max C. We've got a... I think you should play Meow Mine. You don't need it, but you should play it. We got Ghost Ogre, double Ghost Ogre, triple Ash Blossom, double Triple Tactic Talent. We got double Cult of the Grave, single Cross Out Designator, and a double Infinite Impermanence. That is 15 slots with which you can do whatever you want. You can play whatever lineup of hand traps you like. You can, of course, cut some of these additional cards. You don't really need to play the Unchained cards. They're neat. I don't think it's ever been a problem, so I don't think I would recommend cutting them. But you can if you wanted to. Meow Mane, of course, is not core to the deck either, but this is a phenomenal extender, and I really do think your deck would be lacking if you were not playing at least one copy of this card. If anything, it's more of a reason to play Synapse Mining. Remember, your Life Twin starters are also Cybers. So if you wanted to, you could definitely play Synapse Mining using Meow Mane as an additional sort of secondary target. I just don't like the discard cost. But this is effectively the main deck. We got 2 copies of the Pink Twin, the Kisakil. We got 3 copies of the Blue Twin. 3 copies of Blue is better than 3 copies of Pink, purely because Blue, his effect can summon the Kisakil Frost, which we run one of, which is just better than Leela Treat. It's just a better card. Because it lets you draw 1 later on in the game. So that's why we're running 3 blue and 2 pink. 1 of each extender. 2 blue, 2 jet, obviously. 2 red, you can do 1 or 2. I prefer 2 though. 1 carrot. One Meow Mane, again, all just extenders, but Meow Mane does also present some additional interruption as well. So if this card is in your graveyard and a Link 2 monster leaves the field, now not because of an opponent's card, not destroyed by battle, not destroyed by card, just leaves the field or is banished, that you can use Meow Mane to bounce an opponent's card. It's just an extra layer of interruption. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think this card's really good. It's a nice card to have in hand because you can normal summon it if you really just need a 2-body on board for a Sprite play. You can special summon it if you control literally any Link or have any Link engraved, meaning it's a phenomenal extender. There's no reason not to play this card. I think this card's awesome. You might even want to run more than one of it. It's that good. One Abominable Unchained Soul as a searchable target off of Yama. This card in hand, basically, if a card in the field is destroyed while this card's in hand, you can special summon it, then you can discard a card and pop a card in field. So he's sort of obtuse interruption, searchable interruption, which is nice. I'm not a huge fan of the discard cost, but at the end of the day, he has been very useful thus far. I have zero qualms of playing this guy in the deck. You can absolutely cut it if you want. I just don't see a lot of reason to. He hasn't been harmful. It's been very nice having him in, so I'm a-okay with it. One, Secret Password. Secret Password you can run anywhere from 1 to 3, depends on how much consistency you want for your normal summon. If you feel like you're not seeing your normal summon enough, play multiple copies of Secret Password. It is a hard once per turn, so I do not like running multiple copies of it if at all avoidable, and your deck is already so stupidly consistent that you really don't need it. So one's fine for me, especially considering we get that Royal on deck. I am running 3 copies of Sunny Snitch. This is a search card. Its search effect is also once per turn, similar to the other card. But having multiple of this on field is actually kind of good because essentially while you control this, if your opponent summons a monster, you do 200 damage to them and you heal 200 life points, which is not a lot. Not a lot, right? But you're talking about a deck that plays level 2s, and doesn't always have a phenomenal time putting up lethal damage. So if you can do a little bit of chip here and there, that's definitely really good. But more importantly, if you activate multiple copies of this card and you play into a longer game, that damage, again, 200 tick, 400 tick across multiple turns, really starts adding up. And you can definitely bring your opponent down into lethal ranges with that little burn damage. It's a small thing, but it's the little things in life that add up. Triple starter, finally back to 3. This card was a 2 for too long. Sprite was not good enough to have this card limited to 2. Hopefully we're going to see Jet and Blue back to 3 at some point soon. I still don't think Sprite is at all problematic. We can absolutely see these cards return to 3, and I do not think it will be a problem at all. So it's glad to see starter back to 3. Hopefully Jet and Blue will soon follow. 1 Gamma Burst and 1 Smashers. I'm not a huge fan of Smashers, honestly. I'm very tempted to cut it. I did cut it in the event, and I did not miss it. Not even once. So I will probably cut Smashers. So if you don't want to play it, you're not alone. Into the extra. The extra is fairly straightforward. Most of these cards you saw. Double Gigantic Sprite, because again, you want it for your turn 1, but it's also really, really good follow-up for turn 2. 1 IP because you need it for your Griffin plays, 1 Unchained Rage and Unchained Yama for your Unchained plays, double of each twin. You can get away with 1 blue twin, or what I'm almost tempted to try and find room for is double blue and triple pink, but I've yet to need the triple pink, so I'm probably not going to do that. So if you wanted to cut down, you could play double pink, 1 blue, just so you can do the turn 1 play correctly and draw your extra card and such. But ultimately, I think 2 and 2 has been working out just fine for me. Double Elf. Elf, again, similar to Gigantic. You need it for turn 1. Fantastic in the clapback as well. Always want to have a second copy and extra. SP is pretty much your best summon target off of Rage, and is also a really good summon target off of IP, of course. Griffin is your win condition in this version of the deck, for sure. Griffin is the big dog. Definitely have to have him in here. Trouble Sunny, we didn't get to see. We almost got to see it. There was a game there where I was about to use it, but my opponent surrendered. This card is basically here to generate lethal damage because, number one, it's a 3300 beater, so it's huge. And secondly, it can quick play tribute itself to summon 1 of each twin back from grave. So basically the idea is you swing for 33, tribute, swing for 11, swing for 11, and it's just a really good way of putting 5,500 damage on board. It does also, I believe, have interruption, doesn't it? Yeah, you can banish this card from your graveyard and send an evil twin monster from hand, deck, or face up field to the grave to send a card on the field to grave. That never comes up. This card very rarely comes up full stop, to be honest. If you didn't have this card and you didn't want to play it, or if you were just trying to make this slightly more budget friendly, you could absolutely cut this. I think I might have summoned it once, ever. So, yeah, you don't need this card. The only card here that is odd to some people is Almirage. Almirage serves a very particular purpose. You do need Almirage, and its purpose is strictly this: SP Little Knight and Meow Mine. So if you want to normal summon out your Live Twin Lila, if you want to normal summon out whatever you've got, and the only other extender you have in hand is Meow Mine, then you can link off into Almirage, summon Meow Mine, go into Sprite Elf, suddenly you've got plays, right? By that same token, again, if you're in a position where you're sort of back against the wall, it happened in a Kashtira matchup, or, you know, like because of their floodgates, we were absolutely cooked. Except we were able to normal summon Leela, summon Kisakil from deck, Leela into Almirage, Almirage, Kisakil into SP Little Knight. Because we used the Almirage, which is a link monster, we banish on summon, we cleared up a D-Fissure, and then we used our second effect to get rid of an Arise Heart. All in the space of like 2 chains. So definitely worth having the Almirage for those 2 particular interactions, because they are very useful interactions. They will win you games. And that's the whole deck. Really doesn't take a genius. It takes a little bit of practice, but you saw the line, you saw us cook that line over and over, and it really is that consistent, because if you're throwing Ashes one thing, or Veilers one thing, or Imperms one thing, you've always got another. You've always got another summon, you've always got another play, you've always got another hand trap. The deck's just consistent, it's great. I'm running out of breath, I'm talking so much, love it. Okay, so if you got this far into the video, and you're still sticking around and listening to me ramble on and on and on, feel free to subscribe and like this video to help your boy get it out to even more people. And do, for the love of Christ, look at the Twitch, because it's fun. I enjoy it. It's helping me as a creator sort of get out and do other things, and we may be able to sort of develop things over there a little bit. So if you want to help out, you want to just engage in more content, try Twitch, or at the very least look at Converged Gaming Plus, where I re-upload the VODs a few days later. I'm gonna go and catch my motherfucking breath. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.